Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am taking my first look at King Arthur Legends Rise. Due to the whole chaos of the holiday season, I completely missed the launch of this game. It was initially supposed to come out last June, but the devs needed more time to work on it, so it got delayed, and I didn't even know that it was scheduled to come out. So I'm a little bit late to this one, but really excited to have a look at it. This game looks really good. For a mobile game, they've put so much effort into the visuals. I'm already really impressed, and we haven't even gotten into a battle yet. But while we go through this tutorial battle with the dragon here, just so everybody knows, I do play these games 100% free to play. So anything that you see in my game, you will be able to achieve yourself. You're not going to have to go and spend hundreds of dollars just to achieve something. I also really enjoy getting feedback from you guys, so if there are any tips that you have for me or any feedback that you've got, I'm always open to hearing your suggestions, because sometimes you guys can come up with some really good ideas that I can then go and share with everybody else and help the community as a whole improve their own game. So let's get back to this battle and see what they're trying to teach us here. We've got this vigor meter at the bottom here where you have 5 bars. So rather than your abilities having a cooldown, from what I can see here, you consume different amounts of vigor based on the attack that you're using. That's a pretty neat little strategical mechanic that they've got there. We'll see how that plays out as the game goes on. Obviously, we're just going through a bit of the story here. It's going to take us on a little bit of an adventure. So we do get to explore as well as experience the story. But here's our first battle here. Looks like we've still only got Arthur. So let's see what they're trying to teach us here. Excalibur's flame element will deal 25% more damage to storm enemies. Okay, so storm is that, looks like that's the green one. Okay, so this is going to be one of those games where you have the different elements. Obviously, from looking at this, not just the character, I think Arthur looks like a flame character, but his abilities are in different colors as well. So maybe different abilities can be used against different element enemies from the looks of it. That's another level of strategy that they've seemed to have added to this one. So they've put a lot of thought into battles and not just tried to service up the same collector type games we've had before. With I know that they're using similar elements that we're familiar with in other games, but not necessarily delivering them in the same way. So we've got a little bit more variety and we can think a little bit outside the box with the characters that we're using. I'm glad they're kind of feeding this to us a little bit at a time here, because there's going to be a fair bit to get your brain around by the looks of it. And even when you pair that with this vigor system, if you're trying to overcome different elemental enemies, and for example you use the 3-point skill to start with, you don't have enough vigor, maybe you want to target an element to get that advantage, you've really got to manage that vigor system so that you can use those different attacks at the right time. So you've really got to be thinking ahead in the battle as well, which I do kind of like. Okay, moving on. Let's hope we get some companions that we can go into battle with. This looks like a decent group here. Oh, hang on. We've got some help up the top here. We've got some catapults coming in. This could lead to some companions. We've got Kay here. Now, I did see her on one of the load screens. It says that she's Arthur's foster sister, so I'm sure that she's going to be joining us in just a moment. Now, I'm going to skip ahead to the next battle. I don't want you guys to get bored just looking at screens of endless text and wandering. Let's get stuck into more of the meat of the game so we can explore that part together. We do have another companion here. Doesn't look like it's Kay. They've given us somebody else. So let's have a look. Let's see what they want us to do. They want us to use skill number 3. We'll attack that guy, get the bonus damage, take care of him. Now let's see what our other friend can do here. Now you notice with the vigor meter, you get 1 bar each turn. But what that will do, if I use his main skill here, which it wants me to do, that's going to use up all the vigor. So it's not just an individual bar for each character, you have that for the entire team. So that way you can't just spam skill 3 for every single move. You've really got to think about what you're doing. I'm not sure how many characters we can have in the team at any given time. It's usually about 4 or 5, I would say. So at least this way, if you wanted to have a character that you know has a really good move that you want to start off with, and it's a skill 3, and maybe they're not going to have their turn until 3rd or 4th, for example, you're going to have to manage that vigor meter so that you've got 3 bars when they take their turn. At least that's the way that I'm looking at it at the moment. If I'm wrong, I'm sure that we'll figure that out soon enough. And skipping ahead again, we're at the end of this chapter. We're unlocking Hector as well, another uncommon character. So that's 3 characters we've unlocked now. We've got some new stuff to explore. That's our hero management. So it looks like it's going to show us how to train characters. This is going to be fairly straightforward. We select Hector, we throw in a couple of potions. Costs us a bit of gold, we hit go. Alright, not much to that. Alright, again, I'm going to skip forward. If there's nothing really interesting happening in the tutorials, I'm going to move ahead to something worth showing you guys. So now we're finishing chapter 1. We've got our first boss battle to finish things off here. Let's see what the game's going to throw at us. Again, I don't expect this to be too difficult. So now that we've got 3 members to the party, and there's a few different elements out there now, the easiest way that you can look at this is red beats green, green beats blue, blue beats red. So when you're looking at your different abilities and you want to target specific enemies, then that's a rough guide that you can use. From what I can tell, purple is neutral, so there's no advantage or disadvantage when it comes to using that particular ability. And it looks like this battle is just trying to teach us how to use taunt so that certain characters can absorb the damage and take the hits for the rest of the team. Now let me use my own skill 3 ability here and speed this thing up so you don't have to sit through the entire battle. Just move right along to the end here where Arthur kills the opposition king, or at least takes him out, depending on the way that this story wants to tell it to us. Okay, so after one more battle where you just get to play without a tutorial, we finally unlock Camelot so we can get our teeth into some of the other content this game has to offer. And it looks like we're going to start by summoning some heroes. So let's have a look at that. We come over to the lake here. Now just understand that this game works by a summon system, not by the shard system that some other games work by, so it is random as to which characters you do get, although sometimes the first summon tends to be the same for everybody, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's have a look and see who we get. Let's just build some suspense by the forever animation. Let's go. Who have we got here? We've got Kay, the foster sister of Arthur, and I have a feeling that everybody will get this character. She kind of feels like she's going to fit in with the story a little bit, so they might want you to use her. Alright, what's the next thing that we've got unlocked over here? We're coming to this fountain in the middle. Let's see what this does. Okay, so it's going to generate those level up potions over time. So I'd say periodically you'd come back and collect these, and that way you can constantly be getting your level up potions. Now it wants to sell us a whole bunch of stuff. We don't need to look at that just yet. Although this first one here is free, I am perfectly open to paying $0 for something. And we also get a new player check-in, so over the first 7 days that you're playing the game, you're going to get some rewards each day just to help you along. We've got this cute little fairy here, not sure if she's going to be useful, but definitely an interesting type of character to have. Let's see what other things. Okay, it goes past 7 days here, so we're going to be getting a lot of good stuff. So as a new player, each day, what's it going to be up to, a month or so from when you first log in, you get 4 weeks worth of rewards. So that's pretty good for free rewards. Now let's see what else we've unlocked here. We've got the night training camp. Let's duck in here and see what this is. Okay, so we've got basic training, and I assume when you finish that, you're going to get some other levels of training. Now I'm not going to play through all of these in front of you right now, but if you're kind of like me and you struggle at times to understand all the different status effects and how to overcome different situations in battle, these are the sort of things that can really help you understand the game so much better. So make sure that you do play through these at your own pace, and it should help you get through some of those more challenging bosses and other battles that you'll come across in the game that you always get stuck on certain things and you don't know how to beat them. This is going to help you out a lot. Once I understand a lot of these things a lot better myself, I will do a lot of videos that kind of go through some of the basics. I don't think I'll do a full beginner's guide because it could be quite complicated. I might just focus on certain areas so it's easy to access what you're looking for and hopefully understand the game a lot better. Now before we wrap this one up, I want to use up some of these early collectibles that we've gotten throughout our training and all these other bits and pieces that we've picked up along the way, and try and summon some more characters in the game, see who else is out there. So let's head back over to the lake. I just want to have a quick look. There are some special summons that you've got here. Looks like you do need gems to actually summon these. If you are free to play, save up your gems because this is a really good way of getting those guaranteed characters. It will take a lot of gems, so don't waste them on trivial stuff. Make sure you're saving them. As for the summons, I always do them when you get 10 of them to do at once, because when you do 10 at once, it does increase your chances of getting those higher tier characters, and it's just a lot more fun when you're doing 10 at once anyways, rather than just doing one at a time. So let's see what we've got here. We do have a legendary in there. Not sure what this little guy's meant to be. We've got Douglas. Who else? Here we go. We've got a legendary here, and it's Morgan by the looks of it. Now, someone did tell me that they do give this one away when you do that first group of summons, so maybe I'm not as lucky as I'd like to believe that I am. If you've done your first 10 summons and didn't get that or got something different, pop that in the comments below. I'm just really interested to know what everyone gets. If everyone does get Morgan, it kind of makes it a little less special when everyone has the same character, but at least they're giving a legendary for free. You can't really knock them for that. Now I just want to see what other tokens I've got here. Okay, so you do get some free normal summons a few times per day, so make sure that you're checking the game regularly and getting those free summons. You never know what you're likely to get. Let's see who we pull, if it's anyone interesting. It's only a grey one by the looks of it. That's right, I mean, it's always good to add these ones to the collection anyways. These other ones down here, I believe they're the relics, so each character can have 3 different relics, and it does change your abilities. So if you have, say, Arthur as a fire character, you can change him to Storm or Frost, and you'll get some different abilities to go with that. Now, there is so many things to unlock in this game. There are different parts of the castle that you can still open up. So many other things to learn as far as the battles are concerned. There are even weather elements that can change different abilities and how useful some characters can be. but I'm really looking forward to getting into a lot of the other battle modes and things in this game, because if you've followed my journey over the last couple of years, especially with Heroes of Middle-earth and Mortal Kombat Onslaught, the one thing that this game has that the other two did not is content. It doesn't matter how many characters you can unlock or how good or bad they might be, if you can't use them for anything, the whole game is kind of pointless. So I'm glad to see that there are different modes and different characters that you need to use for different things, but we'll get into all of that in another video. I'm so impressed with what I've seen so far. Can't wait to bring more content for you guys. But that's it for this one. Don't forget, like and sub, you know the deal. There's heaps more King Arthur Legends Rise to come. Don't miss out, and I'll catch you in the next one.